There is nothing more annoying than when you lose something of value, right? Well, this is the next level annoying. The World Bank has lost up to $41 billion in climate finance. Nearly 40% of all climate funds dispersed by the bank over the past 7 years. Now, this has been revealed in a new Oxfam report published today on the eve of the World Bank and IMF annual meetings in Washington, D.C. An Oxfam audit of the World Bank's climate projects showed that the $41 billion disappeared between the time projects were approved and when they closed. This is what happens when entities like the World Bank and Western governments who stupidly think they can change the temperature of the planet do not care what they spend on climate change. They never link their investments to changes in the temperature. That's never the true test. It's just an ideological exercise in being seen to spend trillions on the environment. That'll do. And so, is it any wonder all this climate evangelism has dodgy bookkeeping? Oxfam says the World Bank has no clear public record showing where this money went or how it was used. It is just appalling stuff. They're a bank full of accountants, for heaven's sake. But don't think for a second that Australian taxpayers are not linked to any of this. We definitely are. Australia has long been an investor with the World Bank Group. According to the latest Department of Treasury report, the value of our current shares is over 7 billion Australian dollars. So if the World Bank loses 41 billion, they lose a large chunk of our taxpayer investments as well. And there's no such thing as recouping our lost investments. Forget about that. The World Bank enjoys sovereign immunity and its assets cannot be seized no matter what. How's that for being an untouchable global empire? You won't hear too much about this Oxfam report anywhere else because it's a very rare occurrence for the mainstream media to criticise anything vaguely connected to efforts to change the temperature of the planet. Even as bulldozers carve up huge swathes of pristine Australian forest or bushland to cater for the construction of renewable-friendly transmission lines or wind turbine farms, there's not a greenie in sight. Destroying valuable fauna and flora in this country does not receive the scrutiny it should because the climate evangelists are absolutists. Renewable construction can destroy whatever it wants. And the same will go for this piece of hidden news. So what if the World Bank cannot account for $41 billion in climate finance? Environmental reporters will spike those stories because they refuse to publish anything negative associated with saving the planet. If they really did their job and stopped being activists for climate zealotry, they'd realise that there are scams in this green religion, left, right and centre. And the science of changing the temperature just doesn't add up. Look what's happened so far. Western nations are spending trillions on reducing CO2 emissions, but the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere is only increasing. Now, there's an unexplained scientific conflict well worth investigating.